What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mufasi Car Reviews, where we take a closer look at the reliability of a given car as well as what the true 5-year cost of ownership could look like. Today, the car that we will be looking at is the 2015 to 2020 4th generation Chevrolet Tahoe Suburban. So, after researching for a few hours online, I found 10 notable problems that the average consumer had faced. Let's get right into it. Number 1 is the AC compressor. According to consumers, it's extremely flawed and unreliable. Aside from it altogether quitting prematurely, it has trouble running in temperatures above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Due to the poor design quality of the unit, customers can expect to replace the AC compressor every 15 to 30,000 miles for an estimated repair cost of about $1,000. Number 2 is the magnetic ride suspension. People say that the car rides extremely rough and even go as far as comparing driving over small bumps in the road to being as rough as driving over train tracks. Unfortunately, it only gets worse over time, and when you need to replace the shocks, it'll cost around $5,000. Number 3 is the body panels. People complain of small acorns creating noticeable sized dents, as well as the front hood fluttering in the wind while driving at highway speeds because of how thin the metal is. Number 4 is the electrical problems. It's not unheard of for these owners to have to replace their radio countless times throughout their ownership. Interior lighting has been known to flash on and off while applying the brakes. The anti-theft module causes the vehicle to periodically not start, which can leave you stranded. Parking sensors have caused many problems for owners, reportedly costing as much as $3,800 to repair. Number 5 is the dashboard quality. The dash panel above the odometer, as well as the dash panel that's covering the passenger side airbag, bubbles up and needs to be replaced. This is something that tends to happen quicker in sunshine states. Number 6 is the steering column. Most commonly, people will be navigating through a parking lot and all of a sudden they hear a loud popping sound followed by clunks when navigating. Thankfully, these parts aren't too costly and you can expect to pay $1,000 each time this problem arises. Number 7 is the window seals. It's only a matter of time before you start hearing a whistling noise come from your windows while cruising at highway speeds, or rain streaming in due to poorly manufactured window seals and trim pieces. Having to go through and fix these issues can cost as much as $1,000. Number 8 is the transmission. It's extremely jerky and doesn't shift quick enough, making for a loud driving experience, and over time begins to shift quite hard. When it eventually fails, you can expect to spend $6,000 putting in a new one. Number 9 is the cylinder deactivation technology. If you're not using all that V8 power, the engine will deactivate some cylinders, making it more fuel efficient. However, customers have complained that when it switches over, they hear an alarming low-pitched rumble noise coming from the engine. Cylinder deactivation technology has also caused the engine to burn oil, and owners can expect to have to add 2 to 3 quarts of oil in between oil changes, or else they risk their engine seizing. If your engine seizes and needs to be replaced, it costs over $10,000. Number 10 is the 5.3-liter engine. The 5.3-liter V8 engine has a handful of common problems that most people will run into. Problems include the pressure switch, which tends to go bad and needs to be replaced for $900. Many reviews mention a flat spot that shows up on the crankcase over time, requiring a lower engine rebuild. Another costly problem is how the engine heads begin to crack. Also, the active fuel lifters become stuck and the push rods begin to bend, which requires a partial engine rebuild in as early as every 40,000 miles, which will set you back a little over $5,000. However, some say that they needed a completely new engine, costing them over $11,000. Alright, and there you have it. Those are the top 10 reliability problems with the 2015 to 2020 Chevrolet Tahoe Suburban. But before we go, let's take an extra second to see what the true 5-year cost of ownership for this vehicle could look like. Let's say that each of those problems occurred one time during the 5-year time span. That totals out to be nearly $27,000. Hopefully this information helps you better decide whether or not this car is the right investment for you. Make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching.